Hello, everybody. For the last couple of videos, we have gone through how to generate or create keys, symmetric, private, and public, with the pair of keys. Then at the second video, we have learned how to use those keys to encrypt and decrypt different type of files, using different type of algorithm and hashing and digest. Today, I'm going to show you how to create a digital signature. Let's start first with the RSA utility, which is an old version, by the way. Then we will go in another video with PK utility. Both videos will include create digital signature and digital certificate, and that's most important. Since many students on the 262 unit, the COIT 262, the postgrad, sometimes I can see that students, they have some struggling with those commands. So I'm going to try to demo in this video using the RSA utility, and then in the next video I'm going to do with the PK utility. So let's create from scratch. If I wanted to let's say I'm going to generate RSK and I'm going to put it as 224, and I will direct this one into private.key. Okay, so here it is. And from here, I will take that key, which is the private.key, and I will that pop out and that out as well. And I will name that public.key. So those ones here, both of them are here. So we done with such comment. So I create the keys. Now I need to jump into creating the digital signature. Let's jump first with the RSA authority. So what I'm going to use the RSA utility, and I want to sign the N key. What is the N key? The key private. Okay, so what is a digital certificate exactly? I want to send a message. The digital signature. I want to send a message, which is gone through, but how the other side knows that that's me? So we need to attach that with a small tiny file. That tiny file usually has a unique created key, which is belong to a entity. Entity means can be an individual, can be a web server, can be a device, can be URL, whatever it is. So it identify an entity. So let's assume that before that, let's go over here and I will create, let's say, a file. Let's try abc.text, okay? And I will type over here this message from something like that. Let's see if that's here, ABC, that's the one. That's the message. Now, what I'm going to do, I need to, that's the three files I have created. Let's go back to the RSA utility. And from the RSA utility, I'm going to go with the sign. And from the sign, I'm going to use the N key. What is the N key over here? I'm going to do the private.key. Then I'll put the N file. What is the N file here? The abc.text. And what's the output. What do you want to name that? Okay, so that's abc dot text dot signature, let's say. So something like that. Yes, here it is. They tell you that, can you use the PK utility? I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna do another video using that PK utility. So here it is, and that's the ABC that takes that signature. What's inside that? Here it is. So that's the hashing, or the output after we do some sort of type of encryption. So what we do, usually we generate a hash, and we want to encrypt that hash as well. So the hash itself encrypted. When it goes to the other side, they use the opposite key, whatever you have used in to create that. So for example, I have used the private key in the signing. So when I decrypted that, or try to verify, I need to use the public one. So I'm going to do the OpenSSL and RSA utility as well. This time I'm going to use the command verify, the N key, and the ABC. Let's use that, the public one, that key. So since I have that one, and from here, I'm going to use the pub in. So what's the in? I'm going to use the ABC dot signature. So can you verify for us? Can you verify for us if that's message coming from that person is yes or no? Let's click over here, and you can see that yes, this message from whatever, and as you can see that it can be verified, or it can be actually seen like that. Verify in key, put the public key, put the pub in, then from the input the XYZ signature. Yes, no problem. Usually we receive a message say that verified, which is the PK utility. You will see that we receive a message saying that verified. That's it. So nothing else. However, here it gives you the message itself as an output. From here, I can jump into the next step, and we create or generate digital certificate. Usually the digital certificate involve, if I wanted to do request, I need to use the format X509. And what is the key you want to use? I'm going to use the private key. What you want to use as, I'm going to use SHA-256. The days is 365, the length of that certificate, and the output, just to name it whatever, the ABC, let's say that, name it anything, whatever you like. So I'm going to name that, let's say that XYZ, XYZ. Let's give it name similar to that name. Okay, so ABC, let's say that's okay, like that. Certificate. So what we having here, can you create a request with using the X509 format? The key, what is the key? I'm going to use the private key. That's the private key, whatever the private key you want. Can you use the SHA? How many days? 365. The output, ABC, whatever it is, and the certificate. Hit enter, and it gives you the entries like this. What we need to do, that's the country. Yes, here it is. What's the state? New South Wales. And what is the city? Sydney. What is the organization? ABC. What is the organization in section? Whatever, quote, for example, abstract, CD, whatever it is. What is the full qualified name? www.abc.com, let's say, or .net, or whatever you like. The email address, put anything you like. In reality, in general, or in reality, in development, we put actual real emails and details. But for the sake of the demo only, we do something like that. So here it is, and let's see what we have. If I wanted to have something like this, okay, let me show you how to, I think I mentioned that in one of the videos before, but anyway, let's see if we can 509, and that's n, and abc.serve, and if anybody still what we have done before, that's the actual certificate from inside. That's how it look like usually. And this is the data I have enter, as you can see that. And sure, that's the modulus, and that's the key, the algorithm, the RSA encryption, and so on. Just in case, if you want to see how it look like, nothing else. As you can see, that's how we create digital certificate, and we covered the digital signature. One more thing, one last thing. You don't have to, by the way, don't get me wrong. We can create, as you can see that at the beginning, we did create. I have created the private key, the public key, and all those together. When it comes to generate the certificate, there is a command called new key. You can use that with the RSA. You can generate both of them at the same time. So you can, for example, type OpenSSL, and that's the request. That's 509. And instead of following to the what type of key I have, which is the N, no, we type at this time new key. And type, for example, the RSA, put 2048, and the SHA, as we did, 256. And we have something called nodes, and then days 365, and the key out, whatever the name of the file. For example, you want the key out. For example, if you want that's private.key, and here the out, give it a name. For example, abcd.cr, like this. For example, like if you want something like that, that will generate you the both the key and the certificate, one straightforward, and you will jump right away to ask you, can you enter the details inside the AU and whatever the details of the certificate itself. I hope that video was a little bit helpful. Email me if you have any issue, and I will create you another video using PK utility. Thank you for watching.